Hello and welcome to the Monroe Method Clancast. I am Jason Monroe. This is episode 89. Recording this one a little bit ahead of time, but at the moment it's the 18th, is it? The 18th of July. This week I've been running a 5-day challenge to the general public, people who aren't members of Monroe, not because I'm trying to do more for those people than my paying members. I'm not doing anything that I don't already do with my paying members, right? So what I did was I took a chunk of the Monroe method, split it up into a 5-day thing, and delivered it as like a 5-day challenge. Last night, Wednesday, was day 3, and I did a very powerful exercise that I thought I decided would translate really well to a podcast episode. What I would like you to do right now, and this will not work if you're someone who listens to these when you go out walking with a buggy or whatever, but if you are at home, if you're in the house, if you're in the kitchen, wherever you're listening to this, Christ, I need to find out actually. I'll need to find somewhere to do a survey on this. I would actually like to know, where are people when they're listening to this? Are they in the car? Are they out for a walk? What are they doing? But anyway, if it's realistic, pause this right now and go and get ideally an A4 piece of paper or a notepad and a pen. Okay, go. Right, welcome back. What we are going to do is a little exercise to help you find out what it is you really want, right? Weight loss is, I'm going to swear properly here, right? Weight loss is a fucking terrible goal. It's awful. It is a boring, uninspiring, unmotivating goal. What are you going to do today? Oh, weight loss. But nobody cares. Yes, we want to do it because we want to be lighter, fitter, and all those other reasons that we have for wanting to lose weight. But in terms of actually doing it, oh my God, it's extremely boring. Nobody wakes up every day absolutely bursting at the seams to lose weight. Nobody rolls out of their bed going, let's lose some weight today. They don't care. So how are we supposed to achieve something that we don't care about, right? We have to actually get to the bottom of, well, what is it I really want? And this is what we do on day 3 inside the Monroe method, right? Where we create high value goals. So yes, you want to lose weight. Fine. How can we make that so attractive, so exciting, so motivating that you wake up each day and you want to do it, that you want to take the steps that lead you to the goal, that you're planning in advance and getting your steps and going to the gym and making it to the supermarket and having your meal plan. That stuff all takes time and effort. How much effort it takes will depend on how much. And I don't like going down this route because I don't like the whole you don't want it enough, because that's what arsehole PTs say to their clients. You don't want it enough. You need to want it more. But how can we get it to a level? Here's the way I look at it, right? You wake up every day and you brush your teeth. Everybody wakes up every day, and at some point in the morning, they brush their teeth. They do not have to think about it. They don't have to force themselves to do it. They don't have an internal dialogue going on where it's like, oh, I need to brush my teeth. Oh, but I could just do it later. No, I imagine very few people are having that internal dialogue, not in the same way that they have it around their food, their health, their weight. We want to get to a place where having a balanced diet, going to the gym, doing all these kind of routine things that we know we should be doing, getting to the supermarket, knowing what we're having for dinners for the week, having the food in the house to make those meals. We want to get to that level, the same level as we do with our teeth, right? There is no argument. There's no should I, shouldn't I, will I, won't I, on plan, off plan. Like, nobody forgets to brush their teeth and then doesn't brush their teeth for 6 weeks because they forgot to do it that one time, right? How can we get the rest of our health? I mean, your teeth, that's your oral health, right? Your dental health. How can we treat the rest of our health in the same way that we treat our dental health, our oral health, our oral hygiene? And this is how we do it, right? Why do you brush your teeth? Why do I brush my teeth? Because, I don't know, and why do I brush my teeth? I've never really thought about it. I brush them because I don't like the fucking dentist. I don't want to lose teeth. I've got four horrible metal fillings as it is. My teeth were fine right up until I was like, I don't know, 28, 29, and all of a sudden I had a root canal. In fact, no, I was a nutritionist at the time. I was 31. So I had great teeth right through until I was 31. And the first proper thing I had to get done to my teeth was a bloody root canal. Still got all my own teeth, but I do have, I'm looking at myself on camera, 1, 2, 3 fillings, I think. 3 things. Anyway, why do I look after my teeth? Because I realize it is the only set of teeth I have. If once you lose them, you don't get them back. We can draw a lot of comparisons of that to our body. You've only got one body to carry you from A to B through this life. You've only got one, and you need to take care of it. And it's the same with your teeth, right? You only get one set of teeth. Unless you're going to replace them with false ones, you only get one shot with your teeth. So we want to get to that same level with the rest of our health. So how do we do that? We build the same level of value around it. We view it in the same way that we view brushing our teeth. So here's what I would like you to do with that piece of paper and pen that you went and grabbed. I want you to write, and I'm looking at my the one that I did with my guys on the challenge last night. So I had this little slideshow going, and I showed them, right, I want you to write weight loss in the middle of that piece of paper. Turn it landscape, weight loss in the middle. Now draw a little bubble around weight loss. Now what I want you to do is branch out from the words weight loss many, 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 many times. And you're going to write around that. When I lose weight, right? So imagine you're at your goal. You've lost the weight that you want to lose. What has gotten easier? What gets better? What changes? What does your weight hold you back from? What can you now do that you couldn't do before? How has your quality of life improved? How have your relationships improved? What is your family life like now? What is your relationship with your partner like? All these things, right? All the stuff that you think your weight holds you back from, interferes with, disrupts, makes difficult. Branch out and write all those things, right? I'm going to run through all the examples that I've got written down on my one. So weight loss, I'm at my goal. I have improved energy levels. My mental health is better. My physical health is better. My mood's improved. I've added years onto the end of my life if you've got a significant amount of weight to lose. My mobility is much better. I can get up and down the stairs. I can get up and down from chairs. I no longer have to bring my left foot up to my right knee to put my socks on or tie my shoelaces. I can now bend down and do it. Pain reduction. You might have pressure on your joints, on your knees, on your ankles. Reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. You listening to this right now might have had a pre-diabetes diagnosis from a GP, and they have sat across from a desk and told you that if you do not change your diet, if you do not change your lifestyle, you are going to develop type 2 diabetes. Improved immunity. Trying to conceive. Maybe you're trying to conceive, but you've got a really nutritionally poor diet and it's not happening. Better sleep. Improved sex life. Improved digestion. Feeling less tired, keeping up with the kids, not getting out of breath, wanting to play with them in the soft play instead of sitting and scrolling your phone on a chair. More photos, not getting to the end of a family day out and deleting every photo of yourself because you don't like how you look in that one or that one or that one. Easier to travel, maybe traveling in a plane is a worry for you because you don't want to have to get the seatbelt extension, or you're worried that you're going to disrupt the person next to you, or maybe you don't like going to the cinema for similar reasons. These are just a few of the ones that I came up with, right? You will each have your own version of these. Maybe all your nice clothes can come out of retirement. Maybe you can stop dressing to blend in with the background and start dressing more like your personality, more colorful, more outgoing. You will have your own version of these. Do you know what? Actually, pause this and keep going until you can't think of any more, right? Okay, welcome back. Now what I want you to do, and this is the best bit, I want you to take your pen and I want you to scrub out weight loss in the middle. Okay, now look at everything that's around that bubble. That is what you want, right? You do not want to lose weight. Weight loss is not the goal. Weight loss is not the thing you are trying to achieve. This life, this version of life that you want to live, this is what you're trying to achieve. This is a life that you want to live. You want to have that better mood. You want to add years to the end of your life because you want to see children and grandchildren. And if you're lucky like my grand, to see great-grandchildren grow up. You want to have improved mobility. You're fed up being in pain all the time. You know, if you lost weight, your knees would feel much better, your ankles would feel much better, whatever it is. You want to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. You don't want to let that go on and become your reality. You've had that warning from your GP. You want to make those changes. Improved immunity. You're fed up having colds and feeling run down all the time because your diet's lacking. Trying to conceive. You've improved your diet and hopefully the little miracle has happened. Improving sleep, better sex life, keeping up with the kids, improved digestion, feeling less tired, taking more photos, all these things. That's the life that you want to live. This life is the goal. Weight loss is not the goal. Weight loss is the thing that helps facilitate the goal. Therefore, weight loss is not the be all and end all. And this is about getting you to zoom out and stop just doing things to make the scales come down. This is the problem that most people face, right? They have spent so long trying to lose weight that they have gotten into a habitual pattern for weight loss. They sign up to whatever it is, they receive their list of instructions, they start following instructions, and then they look down at the scales every day, every week, every month. And they measure their success based on this number. And that's why people fail, because that's just fucking rubbish. It's not successful, it's not interesting, it's not anything. It's just waking up every day, following the instructions, hoping the scales come down, rinse and repeat for as long as it takes you to get to the weight that you want to be. Instead, we should be focused on all of this stuff, the life that you want to have, everything that lies on the other side. You know, what's going to happen when I lose weight? What will my life look like? How will it get better? What will I no longer be experiencing that I'm experiencing now? This is how we build value around the goal. This is how we get to a point where willpower doesn't come into the equation, where we just wake up every day and do the things in the same way that we wake up every day and brush our teeth, because we want the thing that lies on the other side of it. I would like to, if I could remove things from my to-do list every day, it would be great to not have to shower every day, to not have to get wet and dry yourself every day. It would be great if you could be naked and not have to put clothes on every day, but we have to, because there's a reason for it. There's something that lies on the other side of it. You get washed every day because you want to smell nice, you want to be clean, you want to be hygienic. If cleanliness and hygiene weren't a thing and they weren't an issue, then people wouldn't shower. If your teeth wouldn't fall out and fall to bits if you didn't brush them, people wouldn't brush them. We do the thing because there's a high value reason on the other side of it. And that's how we turn these things from things we have to do into things we want to do, right? You do not have to lose weight. You could stay exactly as you are. But if you stay exactly as you are, then you will continue with the life that you don't want to live. You don't have to lose weight. You want to lose weight, but you don't want to lose weight. You want the life that lies on the other side of weight loss. And you know that by losing weight, you will facilitate that life. You will create that life. You will create that version of reality that you want to be in. So if you didn't get a chance to do this, come back to it when you've got a piece of paper. Once you've done this exercise, I want you to keep it visible. Let these goals remind you every day why you're doing what you're doing. It is very easy to get lost in your tracking, your calories, your protein. Some of you might still be determined to make Slimming World or Weight Watchers work for you, so you're lost in your points and your sins and your healthy extras and your free foods, and then it's stepping on the scales once a week. Did it come down? Did it not? Am I a success? Am I a failure? It's very easy to get super blinkered with this to the point where you can't even remember why you're doing it. Most people I talk to, most people I work with have been dieting for 20, 30 plus years. They can't even remember why they went on a diet 20 years ago, because they're now 4 stone heavier than they were 20 years ago. They wish they could go back in time and tell themselves at 18-year-olds, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go down the yo-yo diet route. You're absolutely fine where you are. In 20 years' time, you're going to be 4 stone heavier if you make this decision. Most people have forgotten why they even gotten started in the first place. And this exercise is what helps bring that back. So what is it here and now that is important to you that you can create this picture around? And it will be different for all of you. There'll be a lot of crossover, but if we compared everybody's kind of weight loss clouds, we'll call them, to one another, there would be a lot of crossover, but no two people would have the exact same things. It is a very personalized thing, and it is a great way, a great visual to have to remind you why you're waking up every day and taking better care of yourself. Because by taking better care of yourself, you start to work towards this life, because when you take better care of yourself, your weight starts to come down anyway, and that moves you closer to this life that you're trying to create. That was a nice short one today, but I hope it is impactful and it has helped. And yeah, do you know, I need to start asking this at the end of podcast episodes, but if you enjoy listening to these, take a screenshot, post it on your Instagram stories, and tag me. Let's see if we can spread some awareness and get more people listening to this. I'm going to use you and your Instagram and your audience and your friends to get more people listening to these. But if this has helped, if any of them help ever, screenshot it, share it, maybe even link to it. And I will see you next time.